Alright, welcome back guys, welcome to this your first time here. I'm Vision here about Entertainment, bringing you guys another video. Today I'm giving you guys my review for Fear the Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 5, Honey. Now, if Fear the Walking Dead is something you're interested in, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon. Don't miss any more Walking Dead content from me moving forward. Now let's begin. So we got another great episode of Fear the Walking Dead. This one was Honey, and it was basically a Dwight and Sherry centric episode. Really good. We got some Al in there, and we had some Morgan. It was a really solid episode. I know there are some complaints in regards to some of it. However, I thought it was a pretty solid episode. One of the betters of the season. I mean, I think every episode has been pretty solid so far. I don't really think there's been a low episode if you want my honest opinion. But we got this episode, and it starts off with Dwight and Sherry, being reunited. However, they get interrupted in the middle of the night. Sherry goes off and Dwight hears something, and they are captured by the white masked people that we saw in the trailer. Now, I really like that moment. It's very high tension and mystery when you got Dwight going to investigate, but it got revealed that these white masked people are runaways from Virginia and are in hiding from her, and they use the white masks to cover their face so that Virginia's people can't know who they really are. I actually really like that. It was a very smart thing to do, something different in regards to survival and using a mask so that the people looking for you won't know who you are, even if they do run into you. It was very smart. But then we got our group who is, reunited with them, and they decide that they want to take Al's truck that Virginia's taken and use it as a trap to lure Virginia in, which is very cool. I really like that. And we got some really great action scenes with them going after going after Al's truck. It was a really great action scene, especially with Dwight holding on to the side of the truck. I really loved those action scenes. They were very high tense, even though you knew nothing was gonna happen to Dwight. They were very much high tense, great at moments of the episode. But then gains control of the truck. However, the guy who was driving the truck ends up escaping. Now, once they finally get the truck, it's revealed that Morgan was found him and brought him to them. Now, there's a lot of people saying that, oh, Morgan just happened to show up. Now, honestly, for my honest opinion, I do not believe that. I think that with Morgan, he's trying to find our people. I would imagine he's scouting out, so he probably has been following Virginia's truck, just keeping an eye out, looking for her. So that would make sense to me. So I would imagine that he was keeping an eye on the truck, and that's how he got reunited with Dwight and Al. So I really like that. And so following there, they, like I said, they want to use Al's truck as a trap. However, Morgan protests, saying that, using that, it could end up causing more issues and that more of their people are on the inside of Virginia and it could put them in danger. So I really did like that. It was a very smart thing from Morgan. And I know people might get mad saying, oh, Morgan's trying to stop them, but it makes sense. It's a good argument, and I really like that. And I like how they brought up Negan and all that war. And it was a really good thing. And one of the things that I loved about it, because they bring it up later on in the episode, but it wasn't spoon-fed to us. It was, subtle. It wasn't like a spoon-fed information to us. It was subtle, and it was just well enough done so, like, you understood it, but they don't have to bring it up in this huge way. So I really like that. And they try to convince him, but Dwight goes after Morgan, saying that, this is what we need to do. If it was Grace here trying to convince you, you would be doing it. And Morgan kind of, you know, gets angry, and Dwight tells him that, we've done it your way. We're going to do it a different way. So I really like that. We got people standing up to Morgan, different from the past 2 seasons. So I really did like that. It was something different. However, we got our group, like I said, they want to use the truck as bait, so they have Dwight check in with Virginia, telling him that they found a group to lure her there. And once they do that, you got Sherry and her people who begin setting up for a trap. And one thing I did like here in this episode, I forgot to mention earlier, is that one of the members of Sherry's group is the guy that we saw in season 5 that Dwight and Sarah had kidnapped. So I really like that. I've said this for a while now, that I really love that ever since we got into season 4 and 5, that you got characters who are introduced and they end up coming back around. You don't just see them in a one-off episode or once in a season and then they disappear or die. You actually see this guy return. So I really like that. It was a good thing, and that's something I've been praising the Fear for the past 3 years for doing. But like I said, you got them doing that. We do get a cool scene between Dwight and Sherry interrogating this guy from Virginia's group, and I really like that. It brought out old Dwight from back when he was a savior. It was really cool scene, and I really like how Sherry is not liking what Dwight's doing. She feels like Dwight has become a better man. However, at that moment, she kind of sees more of the old side of Dwight that she doesn't like. Now, at that moment, she does, later on in the episode, once Virginia's people begin to show up, you got Sherry's and her people who begin to get preparations. However, due to Al and Morgan getting in their way, they are pretty much put in lockup. That way they can't get in the way. However, Dwight eventually agrees with Morgan, saying that Sherry is wrong and that they shouldn't be doing this plan, at which point Dwight is also put in lockup. And at that point, you realize that Dwight realizes that Sherry might be too far gone. She's making the wrong mistake, and he has to stop her from making the wrong decision. So I really like that. It was a really good move on his part, and he ends up talking her down from luring the Rangers into a trap, because Virginia never showed up. It was just the Rangers, and they were still going to go through the plan, but you got Dwight, who ends up talking Sherry down and makes her not go through the plan, much to her anger, and she ends up breaking down. Now, following that, we do get some great scenes with her and Dwight as they kind of are going through what has happened. And I really like this because it shows, again, we get more subtle moments talking about All Out War and Negan. And you see that everything that's happened to Sherry is weighing down on her. She feels like she should have done something back there, but she felt like she couldn't, and it was like a moment of weakness for her. But now she feels like this is her moment. She has an opportunity to do things, and this person reminds her of Negan. She has more of power to do something, and this is her standing up and doing it. What she believes needs to be done in order to stop Virginia. So I really like that. It shows Sherry has changed over the time. Now, there are also people questioning whether Sherry is too far gone. She's taken a lot more drastic and darker moves. And I honestly, I feel like it's too early to tell. We've only seen an entire episode of her. We haven't seen more than just one yet. So I would say no. And plus, we don't know what's happened in the year and a half plus since she left Dwight. So there's a lot of time that went by, so we don't know what happened to her. There's a lot of things that could be brought up as to how she turned out this way, what happened to her, things that she encountered on her travels. So I really don't think she's too far gone. I could be wrong, but I do think that this is an interesting part. And at the end of it all, she tells Dwight that he has to leave because she has to do these things that she believes is right. But in doing so, with Dwight around, it would make Dwight into the person he used to be when he was under Negan's rule, and she doesn't want that for him. And that in order for her to do the things that she needs to do or believes that she needs to do, she has to send Dwight away. So I really like that, and I've said this to other people, that I feel like this mirrors a lot of what Strand did with Alicia in episode 2, because Strand believes there's certain things he has to do in order to get to go in and try to sabotage Virginia. However, he doesn't want to bring Alicia down that same path with him, so he sends Alicia away so he can do what he needs to do without making Alicia go down the same path as him and save her from becoming like him. And I feel like this is similar to that, as Sherry is sending Dwight away so he doesn't become like who he used to be, and she doesn't drag him down that road with her. So I really like that. It was a nice, subtle thing, and I really do believe that's kind of mirroring those two characters, and it's similar. Maybe it's just me thinking that. Let me know. Do you think it's the same thing? But I feel like it's a mirroring of that, or just a subtle, callback to that. I really do believe that it was a really cool thing. But then you got Dwight, who then does decide to go, and Al and him go with Morgan. And then they bring up what they talked about in episode 3, how they faked their deaths using a walker, or killing, switching their clothes with a walker, and faking their deaths so Virginia doesn't come looking for them, which is really cool. I really like that came full around, that they brought that up, and now it's actually coming to full circle here, as they actually do fake their deaths and go with Morgan to his place that he had been talking about, and he brings Dwight, Al, and the people that they found in that office building to the dam, and that's where they begin to start their new lives. And in the truck, as they're leaving, you got Dwight, who puts the infinity sign on the top with an arrow, giving Sherry a sign that way in the event that she leaves that place or comes looking for them, that she knows where to go looking for her and Dwight. Now, I really like that. Now, one of the things that I did really like in this episode is regarding to Morgan, because you got a lot of people questioning him and questioning his motives, and you got him talking a lot about the episode that he found this place, he found some place that they can stay and be safe, and you got Dwight who is constantly questioning him, saying, "We've heard this story from you time and time again. How can we trust that this is really a point where you actually have someplace safe? How can we honestly believe that this is somewhere that we will be safe and Virginia can't find us?" So I really like that. We had him questioning Morgan. You had him going up against him earlier about Morgan not wanting to go through with their plan and how it was risky. Really great. It was something that I feel like was overdue. So I'm glad that they brought it up finally here. Overall, again, I feel like this is a solid episode. Really, really great. And I'm just very excited. I'm curious to see what they do with Sherry moving forward. Definitely because she's different from the last time we saw her. Again, I don't believe she's too far gone, at least yet, in my opinion. But I am very curious to see what they do with her and how her and Dwight's story will wrap up with the rest of the season and what they might have planned for those two characters moving forward as we get into the mid-season finale and the second half of the season, along with the rest of our characters. And I'm curious to see if some of the other new characters that we got introduced regarding the new masked people will have a bigger role here. Will they have become allies to our group, similar to what I said, being gate guardians, or will they just kind of be there and sometimes pop in to help? I really hope that's not what happens. I really hope that they end up becoming allies to our group and helping them out more than just this one episode. But that's just my thoughts. If I had to give this episode a grade, I'd probably 8.5, maybe 9. I think I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. A very solid episode, really fun, and really loved it. The Dwight and Sherry stuff was good, very much making sense. And I know people have gone off, especially the people that hate Fear since Morgan joined, went off saying, "Oh, it's a love story." No, I don't believe it's a love story thing. I believe it's realistic of things that would happen in the apocalypse, having these two people reunite. So I disagree. I do not believe it's this whole love story in The Walking Dead. No, it was just a realistic way of how these characters would reunite, even as they do care and love each other. So I disagree on that front. But again, overall, very much enjoyed this episode. Thought it was a great another addition to Fear the Walking Dead this season. And again, if I had to give it a grade, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. But let me know all your thoughts and opinions about the episode in the comment section down below. So yeah, guys, that's my review of Fear the Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 5, Honey. As always, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and share. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon. That might see more Fear the Walking Dead content from me moving forward. And you can go follow me on Instagram and Twitter, which are linked in the best section of my YouTube channel. As always, I'm Vision here on Entertainment, and I'll see you next time.